the truth of the relationship. Because my mom is a psychopath, I could only sit with the truth. I could only sit with the reality of my circumstances. At any moment, my mom was willing to scream misogyny, call the police on me, file a restraining order. She would happily make me homeless. There was one time when I had just moved into this place, she had said that if I tried to get a hold of my father, he owns a Polish deli in the city, and it's the biggest deli. Everyone in the Polish community knows about him and his notorious infidelity, that she would make me homeless. She was willing to call the cops on me and have me detained out of this property, such that, literally speaking, the notice from the police was to leave me on the street. There are so many examples of her behaving like this. I would have to think about the last 11 years in that particular category. And because of having grown up under these abusive circumstances and having healed, no less, my ability to create space, to hold space, to give space is second to none. Realistically, because I represent the patriarchy, standing still, looking at someone square in the eyes, having a slight charm, having a slight charmed look, but not actually doing anything or reciprocating a sense of undetermined will, kind of just that there's a casual entity about it. Is difficult for a lot of women. If I am into a woman, it's with a deep sense of care, because I was able to heal from a female psychopath. There are parts of my personality, of course, that are not as developed as others, but there are parts of my personality that are more developed than anyone else's. And that's the consequence of engaging with a psychopath. What this woman is able to do is look me square in the eyes and not flinch. I intentionally go out of my way to look away from a woman that I'm interested in, because circumstantially, romance is built on trust over months, and that I'm able to have the moment be otherwise an entire encapsulation of my feelings, is not useful. I'm getting emotional. Oh, and I'm not wearing my glasses. That's it. The light is so bright in here. The willingness this woman has to allow me to get back up to my comfortable cruising altitude. In the way that I connect with the women in my life is stress relieving. It's very important to be communicative. And a part of that is being able to be in each other's presence, non-verbally. To be in each other's presence, growing in emotional connection without words, and that ability is profound, to actually have feelings without speaking. If you can find two people that can explore their feelings together in each other's company, holding hands, cuddling on the couch, whatever it is, that's really special. And so with that in mind, I know that this video is going to have to be age restricted, and so even less people than otherwise would see it. Which is fine, to the people who do see it. There's a really good opportunity for you to see this video and to come to understand it in a healing way. In Christianity, in medieval Christianity, it's no longer the case, or medieval Catholicism, what these religious zealots would do, and maybe not zealot, I don't even know the definition of that word. They would whip themselves physically, and it's because it was in their eyes, a opportunity to experience communion with God, and it's because the thin line or the spectrum between pain and pleasure was broken, in which case the very ability to experience pain, which is very possible in our lives, was a tool to experience the pleasure of Christ, of God. This is a very important idea to me, and is a primary element that I use to explain my passion for clothing, and is why I'm passionate about clothing in the first place, and why Gravity Pope as an institution was so important to me, and this employee's firing was such a serious incident. Clothing is a second skin. Your skin can be violated. When I was a toddler, no less than a year and a half old, my parents violated me, and I have a burn on my right shoulder as a consequence of it. Toddlers don't have memories, and so I have this unconscious architecture that I navigate and swim within, which only I can navigate, and the circumstances of my life are such that I'm constantly disadvantaged, and the story of my life is a story of relentless pursuit to make the unconscious conscious. The willingness of my mom to violate me is legendary. How my mom speaks about my abuse is psychopathic. In the psychologist's office, it's theater. The work of Sacha Baron Cohen, to me, represents a environment designed to create the best experience of emotional catharsis. The process of experiencing catharsis. In theater, what we try to do is examine emotions. This is a novel idea in general, even if it's spoken about a lot. When you have trauma in your life, what you're supposed to do is laugh at it. Because if you can laugh at it, you can find the silver lining. And in the silver lining, you're going to be exposed to the irony of the trauma. And if you're intellectual enough, you can deconstruct irony procedurally, which means the nature of your trauma is not something lingering anymore. It's actually something that can be worked on. In factories, everything is procedural. And so you get to rely on the sense of post-industrial, postmodern, internet priorities that the rest of your community has, which is that things are to be solved procedurally, in which case you're no longer alone. But do you have a community? Do you have a second home? Well, no, because the institutions themselves represent the weakest parts of patriarchy, which is a problem. And if you can smash at the irony, bits of the truth are going to come out. And the moment you have the whole truth, you have overcome the trauma. What you're about to witness is a video. It's a manufactured product of the arts, however. And me educating you that the way love plays a role in the personal project, the way that love allows you to laugh at your trauma, to establish the silver lining, and then work on figuring out the irony of the situation, is a profound subject to talk about. I wish you the best. Love will tear us apart in the best way possible. If you can create meaning out of moments in your life, you have found meaning in your life.
Here's your video. Here's your video, Mom. Why don't you love me?
Wychodź mi.
Why don't you love me?
Proszę cię.
I went to 11 years of psychotherapy, Mom.
Proszę cię, wyjdź mi z samochodu.
Mom, what does it for shifts on me? Don't speak to me in Polish. I don't understand. I want my parents to love me. You're constantly threatening me and calling me a monster. Why, Mom?
Wychodź mi.
Why, Mom? I went to 11 years of therapy.
Zamknij mordę, wyjdź.
Why?